Tonight, from Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin, it's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports.
It's 3-0 versus 2-1, a good early season battle as we're underway in Week 4. 6'4" Jordan Love taking the field for the first time. The 2020 first-round pick from Utah State set to lead Green Bay.
And the numbers were not pretty. I mean, they don't look right. When you throw 2 interceptions, no touchdown passes, there's no way to really make that work. But I thought there were a lot of positives in watching his game tape. I think he's close to putting on a good performance. Let's see if he can flip those numbers around in this game. And, of course, rally his team to a win.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. The numbers for Adams in last week's game. 5 catches, 60 yards.
And I don't know about you, partner, but if anybody ranks me in the top 10 in anything, I'm really happy. And that's exactly where he is now. Number 10 in the league in receiving yards.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
That's good.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
3rd down and 6.
Working out of the gun, Love, and that is incomplete. That's a pretty good opening possession defensively.
And you know the goal is to make something of a statement, especially on the road with your first defensive possession, isn't it? Go right out and establish yourselves and let them know this is going to be tough.
Looking up into the lights, and he muffs it.
The Bears take over 1st and 10.
So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
You enjoyed watching that game tape, didn't you?
Yeah,
last week's game.
Good. 4 touchdowns, 1 pick.
Now, you were a little upset about the pick. I didn't know if you were playing this week or not, if you were the head coach.
Hey, they got the win.
You got the win, so you're going to give him another chance?
Give him another shot.
All right, I think the ratio is pretty good. He'll try to eliminate the interception, but he wants to keep that hot streak going, throwing touchdown passes.
The numbers in last week's game for Dunbar. 14 carried, and that's caught inside the 30. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. A huge play there for Chicago. And even 50 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw. Bryant. And he's going to look that one in one-handed. What a catch for the touchdown.
Chicago.
An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Packers offense here coming back out for their 2nd drive. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating 1st downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
At the 23-yard line.
Now a 2nd down throw for Love here. Over the middle, and It's incomplete. He was looking for his running back, Aaron Jones, that time. Third down here.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
On third down, Love gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a fourth down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
4 yards on the pickup. Second.
Looking to throw. Bryant. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. No gain there, and it's going to bring up a third down. But he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch. And most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
It's the first time that they've looked his way tonight, and he comes up with a first down on the play. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
3rd down, and they're going to try the jet sweep. And he will have the first down as he up near midfield. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
It's a gain of 6. First down.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. Off play action. Bryant out to his left. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 36. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Bryant steps away to his left. Now he'll let it go deep down the left sideline. Darnell Mooney the target there. And that'll bring up 2nd down. And we've got movement. I think this is against the Bears here. Let's find out.
Offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15. Back to throw. Bryant buying time to his left. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Allen Robinson, his 4th touchdown on the year as the Bears push further out in front.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
Oh, good return up past the 30. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
Their own 32-yard line.
The Green Bay offense ready to take over. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now a throw here, hauled in. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And Jones is not going to have the first down as they stop him short. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
Oh, boy, he fielded it right on the goal line. So a change of possession here on the punt.
The Bears take over 1st and 10.
Back out onto the field comes Allen Robinson. There was a lot of talk in training camp about him getting off to a hot start this year, saying that they needed that. Well, he's done it through the first month.
Kind of reminds me of one of those great musical groups where one person has their name out front, then they have the backups, right? He's the guy out front because the backups, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, but we're going to the headliner each and every time, and that's not easily done because you know all the defenses are kicking towards him right now. That means he's fighting his way through traffic, finding ways to get open, even when he's not supposed to be.
He'll run it. Gets around him. Oh, and now some space to operate. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down.
Certainly making his presence felt in both the pass and the run game. He's having an impact.
Yeah, his first carry of the game right there. He had hurt him with his arm. Now he's showing that he can shuffle the puppies as well. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. On first down, Dunbar. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Chicago. A big play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bears will extend their lead. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. It's caught. Jones. And he is going to have a Packers first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. But it's going to be 2nd down. To throw again. Love. And he'll look for Adams again, and this time he's got him. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand.
That's good.
They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. And this will complete right side to Funches. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Going back to Love. And Jones has it over the middle. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 20-yard line. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Caught on the right side by Jones. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
Behind the line of scrimmage.
Again, it's Love. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. 3rd and long for Love. Oh, trying to get that to Adams, but that's intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Johnson. A big seam, and he might go all the way. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. That pick 6 extending this lead even further. And boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle. Oh, look at this. A flip to the kicker. He's going to try to run for it. And this one incomplete. So they went for the 2. They don't get it.
Partner, that type of a lead, and they're going to fake it from the 15 to try and pick up a 2-point play instead of kicking it through the posts. Come on, man. Put that in mothballs. Come on. Come on. Don't do that.
Put that in mothballs?
Yeah, preserve that for it. That's an ancient relic. Faking it. I can understand you want to rub it in a little. You fake it when you snapped it from the 3. But from the 15, mothball that bad boy, just like my grandmother had.
Yeah,
you never had it. The stuff she used to preserve.
It smelled terrible. Love back to it here after the pick 6. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. It's a gain of 5, and it's a 2nd down.
Now that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chain.
And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue. As you can.
All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
The Bears take over 1st and 10. At their own 27-yard.
So here are the Bears to take over on offense. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. They'll run on first down. Dunbar. And he powers his way up past the 30. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. On the move to his left. And now he's going to use his legs. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
On first down, Bryant going to look deep for Wilson. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
Throwing again. Bryant forced out to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Cedric Wilson, his first touchdown on the year. And this offense is running away with this one. Even though he was forced from the pocket, still able to adjust, make the long throw, and it ends with a really big touchdown.
Yeah, moving to his left. The key to everything when they're moving outside of the pocket, doesn't matter which side, making sure those shoulders get around and you get back square so you can get everything on the throw and create the big play we just saw there downfield.
The Packers take over first down. 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. Give him back-to-back catches now. That one for 16, and another first down.
1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
On the ground with a tight end. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. A gain of 3, second down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
At the Bears, 40.
Love now on second down. And his throw here's incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about, and you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent.
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Derek Wolfe popping in for the sack.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and it can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
The Bears now ready to take over again. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. From the gun, Bryant dancing to his left. Oh, he's going up top for... Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he will finally be taken down, but not before he reaches the 38. On 1st and 10, Bryant. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Komet. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big third-quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Operating from the gun, Bryant being chased out left. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. Escaping the pressure, and he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. It's the fullback. His first touchdown on the year. And the Bears add on.
Okay, we need to double check here with Marvin because he keeps all of our good stats, but what I've got is 5 drives, 5 touchdowns, and they've got a nice, healthy lead.
Well, after the first drive, we thought things might be clicking. They're really clicking at this point. They're clicking about as much as they can click.
And right
I just said click a lot.
Yes, you did, but that's okay because the guy who's coordinating the defense, trying to slow them down,
good luck.
He's going to have hair that looks like mine very soon. Not much of it.
Pinheiro to kick off for Chicago.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. Pulls it in at the 13. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
10 at their own 32-yard line.
The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you... go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Second down, Love throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. The intended receiver was Rashard Higgins, and it'll bring up third down.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
And the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return.
First and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now, defensively, you've almost got to get down into those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield. Bears back now at Lambeau. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to take off with it. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
On first down, Dunbar. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 25 yards to pick up there, and also a first down.
And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this.
No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be third down. On 3rd and 2, Bryant got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Allen Robinson with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Bears continue to pour it on as that lead just swells and swells. Look, this has been dominance in all three phases, offense, defense, and special teams.
So don't we have to give a lot of credit, not just to what we've seen today, but the preparation in advance, coaching staff, commitment by the players to the game plan. And being ready to go in this one, you're exactly right. Clean sweep, and boy, they're going to celebrate this one after it's over.
And on the other side, this is the game film you just flush and never go back and review. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Love from the gun. This pass complete to Higgins. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
They'll contain him to just second down.
4 yards on
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. To the air again, Love. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Eddie Goldman with a sack. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Out of the shotgun, it's Love. His throw incomplete. Josiah DeGuara, the intended receiver. And that takes us from second to third down.
It's now 3rd and 19.
55, my guy, 55.
From the gun, Love. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts. This time on third down.
6-yard attempt.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Rolling to his right. That one complete to Horsted. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. That one looks like he'll throw here.
For Manis Komet, the tight end.
Bryant's pass.
Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. Operating from the gun, Bryant.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. How about them biting off 15 yards there on the 4th down attempt and keeping the drive alive? And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. They'll find Miller. That's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
And the Bears first.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And that is caught. But he will come down out of bounds, says the side judge. Incomplete. And that one is incomplete, and it stops the clock at 12 seconds left in the half. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Starting to really smell a 4-0 start right now. You can't ask for a better first quarter of the season than that.
And you're not supposed to look ahead, but guess what?
You're going to?
They have to, because when you get to if you get to 4-0, you're not just thinking playoffs now. You're thinking about, okay, this team has the capabilities of winning a Super Bowl. They could very well be the best team in the NFL at this moment.
I think they played the best. I mean, there have been a few hiccups offensively and defensively, but probably the best team we've seen, right?
And has the ability to get better.
A fairly short kick from the 14. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They are down big. They have not scored a single point. I don't know. Are they so defeated at this pressure? And he's taken down. A Bear sack. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that, you're out there fresh playing,
today. From CenturyLink Field in Seattle, Washington, it's Week 5 of the NFL on EA Sports.
Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25.
So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
He threw for nearly 350 yards. His team won. And one word just kept coming to mind as I watched him during the game. Surgical. Absolutely surgical. That's why he won NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Yeah, very precise. The throws, maybe as accurate as he's been in some time.
Yeah, I think he feels pretty locked in here, and I think he feels like he can get it done again in this one, too.
Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a hand.
And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Chicago. A great play there, with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bears have taken the early lead. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms, because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
Takes this about 5 yards deep, and it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return.
5-yard line.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
And he'll throw right away. And this a quick slant to Lockett.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. From the gun, it's Wilson. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Roquan Smith in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. From the shotgun, Wilson. And that will be incomplete.
Wilson.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback.
20-yard line.
Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
Right back to him on 1st down. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another 1st down, this time on a gain of 19. They'll run on 1st down. Dunbar. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating him up here in the 1st quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
Another shot from the one on 2nd and goal.
Brings up 2nd and goal.
Steps away to it, and he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. It's their quarterback. His 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Bears will add on to their lead.
That was not a designed run. It was supposed to be a pass, but it turned into an exceptional run. What a scramble for a touchdown.
Pinheiro, the kickoff for Chicago.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And this carries into the end zone. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Roquan Smith. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
After the sack on first down, Wilson. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
It's a gain of 8. Makes it 3rd and 5.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. On first down, Dunbar. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2. And it brings up 2nd down. 13-0 is the score after 1 on EA Sports.
Bears 13. Seahawks nothing.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
There on the tackle.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down.
Number 21.
And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 yards there and a first down.
Midfield to the 49-yard line. A gain of 12. First down, Bears.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Middle of the field, it's Robinson.
Bryant's pass.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Looking to throw. Bryant buying time to his left. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. And it's second down.
Well, the first two drives yielded touchdowns, so there's no reason for them to feel like they have to pull back on the reins. They pushed it downfield, looking for another one right there. Didn't get it, but we know they're going to continue to be bold.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down. This offense was on the move. Now two straight incompletions have him looking at 3rd and 10. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And Miller will pull this one in. He's got it for the Bears. Touchdown.
Touchdown.
Anthony Miller, his 5th touchdown here as the Bears push further out in front. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Taken about 7 yards deep. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Out to the right, he gets it to Lockett. Not much there, only a yard.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
To throw again on second down. Wilson, they'll run the screen with Carson.
Wilson.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up third down. On the delay, here's Carson. And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
There's Anthony Miller as they trot back out to go on offense. Well, September sure treated him kindly. Now we flip over to October. Any reason to think that those numbers drop, or can he keep the pace up?
Well, he can keep the pace up, but it's going to get a lot more difficult now. To me, it's a lot like baseball, all right? When guys, when they first hit the league, whether it's a pitcher or a hitter, and they go through the league the first time and they're hot, people are going, wow, what a phenom. Then they get tape on them, they get scouting reports, they start to do different things. Let's see if he's going to adapt and expand his game in order to keep up that type of production.
That's a good call because he's a known entity. See how they defend him going forward. To throw on second down, Bryant, and that's incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
And it would appear he's going to be short of a first down as he stopped right around the 29. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. forced out to his left. Open man is Miller. He's got it. The 30, 20, 10, touchdown, Chicago. Anthony Miller with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Bears will extend their lead. A gutsy call, 4th and short. They go for it. Look at the result.
Yeah, not only did they go for it, they threw for it. Because to me, it was stacked up for a run situation, strength on strength, and they decided to put the ball in the air. And what a result. Big-time play.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the route is on here in this first half.
Eddie Pinheiro to kick off for Chicago.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
25-yard line.
Chris Carson trotting back out there. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me.
Now a loose football. The ball comes out. And this is picked up by the Bears. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. These defenses have become so opportunistic, and no matter what you're playing, in this case wide receiver, you got to be careful.
You certainly do, because there is a phrase in today's football that we use all the time: completing the process of the catch. Well, it's after you do that where the trouble begins, right? Meaning you've tucked it away, you're trying to get downfield, but someone's always coming up trying to rake at the ball and knock it free.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. And again this time to the tailback. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11.
By number 21.
Jordan Brooks on the tackle.
Down at the 11-yard line. A 3-yard pickup.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's brought down.
Another carry for the running back.
It's a 10-yard gain there to set him up 1st and goal. Back to throw. Bryant. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Allen Robinson. His 6th touchdown of the season. And this offense continues to pour it on.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow, because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there. Unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Eddie Pinheiro to kick off for Chicago.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. A fairly short kick from the 14. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30.
Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in.
Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Throwing back across his body. Picked off by Kyle Fuller.
You're trailing. You're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't.
Now you got to be careful, because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. They'll run on 1st down. Dunbar. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. And now they're in the hurry-up. On 2nd down now. Dunbar. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. Not time enough for a play and then a timeout, you wouldn't think. So with 4 seconds left, they're going for it. A final shot before break. Bryant. And that is incomplete. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you, too, in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5.
And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half.
To kick off for Chicago.
The Seahawks trailing, but they will have possession first here as we resume action in the third quarter. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And the half will begin with a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. And on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the Bears' 41-yard
from the 41. Wilson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Intended for Tyler.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
What we've seen so far in this game, they are not going to allow a big shot over the top. You can have whatever you want underneath. They'll give you that, but they're not going to let you beat them deep.
Could not have thrown that out there any better. When the ball hit the ground, I thought it might go into the end zone the way it was angling, but perfectly jutting out at the 1.
You think maybe what we saw in practice came into play there? You know, he put those big cans down on the sideline and angled for them and shot for them. Looks like it worked out pretty well for him, too.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Dancing to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. And got his man complete. And all the way to the opposite 45. It's a big-time play there for the Bears. 55 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
Oh, he didn't spike it. He faked it. Flush to his right.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
On 2nd down, Dunbar. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And finally marked down at the 23. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
1st down, Chicago.
Throwing on 1st down. Bryant eluding the pressure right. He's going to take off with it.
He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. They're going to hurry back to the line now.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and a yard.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The deuce is wild here. 2nd down and 2 with just about 2 minutes on the clock. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
Stop short of the goal line. It's a gain of a yard.
They'll keep it on the ground. Moulton. And this time he is in.
Yes.
A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season as his guys continue to pour it on. A 1-yard run on 1st down, another one on 2nd. It might not do much for the yards per carry average, but it gets him 6 points.
And at contract time, you want to show touchdowns scored way more than you want to show yards per carry.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Seattle again getting ready to take over. Very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Now this throw caught left side. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
From the gun, Wilson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. We sit in quarter number 3 out in Seattle. A 2nd and 10 now. To throw again, Wilson. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Throwing again here, Wilson. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback.
20-yard line.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He has had a whale of a game. In the 3rd quarter, you're already over 200 yards. I don't know what more he can do at this point.
Not a whole lot, and what he has found is that zone that we always talk about, where every carry feels great. Every carry potentially is a sprint to the end zone, and all he wants to do is ride it as long as this game goes on.
Yeah, now he's just thinking 300 yards maybe. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a 1st. And he is not going to get the 1st down as they'll spot this at about the 28. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
With the score, Bears 41. Seahawks nothing.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. Well, they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over.
This game just keeps evolving and changing, doesn't it? You got a tight end who can move around a lot, not necessarily using a big body on him. Sometimes you take a corner, a better cover guy, and put him on him and try and take him in.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 11, and he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And guys, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. A throw over the middle, taken in. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's a first down on a gain of 10. Now a give, right side. Moulton, they're looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
And they got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a third and 2 more.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And ultimately, this won't go for much, maybe a couple, but boy, he showed off that make-you-miss ability that certainly is in his arsenal. And he's going to get this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Seahawks 24. Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
These type of plays are backbreakers for a defense. They thought they had him hemmed in, thought they were going to get him on the ground with the pass rush, but were unable to do so. He gets away, picks up a big first down, and sets up first and goal inside the 10.
To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. It was Trey Flowers that time who got a hand in and broke it up. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on second and goal. He almost had it. The big D lineman nearly had an interception. Instead, it falls down incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
They'll look to throw on third and goal. Being chased out left. He may try and run for, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Pinheiro now to add the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And it was finished off with a 10-yard touchdown scamper. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. Now this will make it into the end zone. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one, though probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish. Tyler Lockett was the target there. And now it's second down. Throwing again. Wilson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Now a man open down the middle of the field. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard.
At their 49-yard line.
So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And it's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
And this is going to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line.
At their own 12-yard line.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And he's already gone over 200 yards on the ground as we get a look at some of his solid. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down.
It's a gain of a yard.
So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Bears, they improved to 5-0 now on the young season. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Seattle, it was a good first month, but they'll fall to 4-1 as